that he's unmuted.
Alright. Alright. 3, 2,
I can't do.
1, go.
I can't really change the size of the game without it being. I guess I can do that.
This is the PS1 version. It's also on N64. We treat both consoles as separate categories. N64 has next to no load times, way more lag, a few other differences, such as with cutscenes. And Mythology Network in both games is completely different. Game audio only coming out one, but that could be on my splitter I use to crap right now. So, first remote, out of bounds here. Camera screwed me over, that's fine. So, we're already at the end of the level. This is fun. So, just gotta kill these 5 elves. Their patterns are more weird, so there's not too much of a hassle. Hopefully that's better. Because it's been a while since I've streamed this game with mic on. So I usually just have the game audio turned up, way up. Okay, so next remote. Each level has 4 remotes. 3 are hitting the level, 1 you get from collecting 100 fly coins. We don't get any remotes, so any of those remotes, no. We only get the other 3, and each level we get 3 or sometimes 2 remotes. So this next remote, we got to kill Evil Santa by deflecting his presents back onto him. Presents have weird hitboxes. Most important thing is to just find a consistent method of hitting them. So we just got hit 3 times and I missed 1. That's always epic. There we go. Camera. That didn't screw me over. Hopefully that's a little better. Alright, so one more remote. We just gotta break 5, well, we gotta make 5 ice sculptures. Rather. Ooh. Camera can be really bad there as well. Tail kicking to the loading zone will send you back, so don't tail kick into it. And that's Totally Scrooged, which is a Christmas-themed level. Each level in this game is based off of like a TV movie genre parody. That one's Christmas. This next one coming up is a mystery-themed level called Clueless in Seattle, and is going to be the introduction of a series-unique trick called TV canceling, which I'll get into a little bit once I actually attempt the TV cancel. Nice. What a game. So I'm going to need to take damage for this TV cancel because it's going to involve a death abuse.
I see.
And enemies such as lawn chairs have come to life with their own giant carnivorous teeth. Because 90s platformer.
I see.
Ooh, camera. Oh god, I It shouldn't. There we go. So what I did there was I had the bear kill me above the button and my corpse fall onto it. And that will get me to remote, and I spawn back in the level rather than being forced out. So this next remote is a retreading of 2 previous remotes from Gex 2, where you gotta break these blood cores. Normally to do this remote, you're supposed to go into the hedge maze I was in earlier, and there's a statue you gotta tail whip, which will give you a Dracula outfit that you can glide around in. Oops. But getting that outfit obviously takes way too long. Actually passed right by the statue when I went for the TV cancel earlier. Alright, one more remote. Probably the most straightforward and boring remote of the run. There are these 3 mini-games in the level, and you're supposed to find and beat them. So, the first one here is on this mounted and preserved bear head, which, despite being, stuffed and preserved, and having no blood, fleas are still attracted to it, and I'm doing a terrible job already. Yeah, whatever works is fine, as long as you got it consistently.
I say.
That was sloppy. Alright, second one. It's in the sink. We gotta pop 5 bubbles. What was the first one? Pop. Did I not get this bubble? No, I thought I got it. What the hell? Okay, never mind. I was about to say, that first bubble I popped on string. Off screen, I can't talk to it. But didn't pop. And as you can tell, when you beat the minigames, you're rewarded with a bonus coin. Having the 3 bonus coins is actually what sets the flag for activating the TV for this objective. Because you can beat the 3 minigames, activate the TV, leave the level and come back, and the TV will actually still be activated. Could have gotten a tail kick there, but I didn't. So, final minigame. You go on to this pool table to destroy these sentient pool balls. Alright, that's the 3 minigames. Which also means the end of this level. Alright, so I mentioned a Dracula outfit earlier, and there's one in Mission Control as well, which you'll see coming right up, and I'll have some fun with it. So here it is. It's nothing too special. It only exists in these 2 levels. There are other outfits that let you glide later on there. Alright, so I'll bounce on top of that camera. Then I can take advantage of this slope in the wall up here. Out of bounds. I'm gonna play it safe. Could have done it faster, but again, I just wanted to play it safe because it's a marathon. So this will send me to the end of the tutorial section of Mission Control, which, going through it the intended way, has a whole lot of mandatory dialogues and cutscenes that just take a long time. So we skip all of them. So this is the second hub world, Lake Placid, and I would like to remind everyone watching, no premarital Gex is allowed. Alright, so up next is an Egyptian-themed level called Holy Moses. This is where the run gets really interesting. So I'm going to go for a 1 cycle in this level. I'm going to try to get all 3 remotes in one go. And obviously, I'm going to do that with the magic of TV cancel. That was sloppy, but at least I got the quick shot in the mummy. That's the first objective. You gotta kill the mummies and get their staffs. Alright, so next objective, you gotta kill these three Anubis, Nubi, Anubises, whatever the plural is. That one's actually mandatory to go through the level in general. Like, you cannot progress through the level without killing that one. Oh, what was that? What was that? Oh boy. Fun thing to note, in 1.0, this quicksand can kill you. 1.0, as far as we know, is very rare and hard to come by. I'm on 1.1. It's not just as simple as Black Label versus Greatest Hits, because I have a Black Label and it's still 1.1. So, you know, if anyone has a copy of 1.0, then consider yourselves lucky, I guess. Took some damage to that fire there for damage boost to save like frames. I got that skip. If you get him off the camera right as soon as he does his tornado move, he will revert. You will stop doing it immediately. You just go straight to attack him. If you don't, then you have to sit through his tornado move for like 5-6 seconds. Alright, here's where things get interesting. So they made this camel. He exists for this one room of the game. Kind of useless, but not really, because we can do this. We can take him out of bounds and into other rooms of the level. This does something very interesting, though. And yeah, 1.1 is just the overall better version. You literally cannot 100% the game on 1.0. Because, like, I think a level or two, whatever, is missing a fly coin, and certain bonus coins don't register. Yeah, what he said. So, doing this is really interesting. One thing it does is it raises the depth planes in the level. That's going to be a pretty big concern coming up in this next room, where I'm going to land on a bit of a raised platform, and the depth plane is all around me, and I have to kill an Anubis who is on said depth plane, right here. Oh, I almost died there. Oh god, that was close. Alright. As you saw right there, if you get a collectible that floats above your head, like a paw coin, bonus coin, or a remote, the camel kind of spazzes out, and you lose control of it as long as the item's up there. So, Mummy, sadly, there's no cool quick shot or skip we can do with him. We just gotta wait. And then we have to grab the staff while on the camel, or else the camel despawns. Okay, so, earlier you saw what's called a death TV cancel, where as you saw, you die and your corpse falls on the button of the TV. I'm going to go for a different kind of TV cancel called tail whip TV cancel. So basically, you can tail whip before landing on a button and you can start chaining your tail whips. So I'm going to do that with this first TV right onto the camel. However, after that initial tail whip, every tail whip has to be every 18 frames. And the reason I bring this up is because after doing this first TV cancel, the game's going to want to force me out of the level. So I'm going to do a second TV cancel right after this. And I'm going to have to do a frame-perfect tail whip, or else I'll be forced out of the level. I got it, nice. Oh, what? Oh my god. That's kind of bad, because life management is pretty important in this run. So I'm gonna have to make a slight detour in the next level. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to. So the last remote of the level is pretty straightforward. Just ride this camel to the temple, as the game says. That's Holy Moses. Yeah, the TV cancel saves about a minute, but it is frame perfect. So if you want to grind world record attempts, have fun resetting, like 13 minutes in, like most of the time. Alright, so next level is a Western-themed level called the Oregon Trail, and that was some nice lag right there. This game's pretty laggy, especially on N64. If you've never seen footage of the N64 version of this game, I would actually implore you to do so, because the lag on that version is unbelievable. The lag on this version is still not too great, especially on my console, because my PS2 is a piece of crap. Okay, so Donkey, we'll use him to TV cancel as well. This level is pretty broken, similar to Holy Moses. The Donkey is slower than just tail kicking though, so we'll abandon him for now, but he will keep respawning throughout the level. I mentioned PS2 and how it influences lag, also Detour for extra lives. But I mentioned how PS2, just in general the console, can be influence lag in the game. Generally, the newer the console is, like the higher the model number, the better it performs, but how much it's used is also a factor. And it's just... PS2s are what make running PS1 games just not fun. And actually, because of how bad my console is, I can't use a feature on it called fast disk speed, which if I were to be able to use, it would save about a minute in load times. So, tail up TV cancel coming right up. Oops. Oh, come on. There we go. You gotta get 5 cards. There's a lot of death abuses coming up in the run, by the way. That's why lives are such a big deal. You can kind of get a double jump right there if you jump at the right time. Doesn't really matter, but it's cool nonetheless. Alright. I don't know what you're talking about. Donkey sounds are amazing. But that's all you'll hear of him, sadly. I'm gonna farm lives some more just for marathon safety. Because this is one of those games where if you game over, that's run over, because it sends you right back to the title screen. Okay, so up next is we have to visit the world's largest mound of poo. These minecart cycles are camera-based. There's nothing else much to the remote. We're on top of poop right now, and that is Holy Moses. Alright, did you not have enough army shit from the last run? If so, well, we got more. This is an army-themed level called War is Heck. Sadly, there are no green plastic army men. We just have a lizard who, you know, his main character gimmick is that he never shuts up, and he's constantly blabbering movie and TV references that most people won't get now. But we shut him up before the run to save time, because if you leave the voices on, he'll pause before going through TVs to say something. Yeah, you need to watch your language in this game. Just never mind the fact that one of the characters is played by a literal Playboy model. And all of the blatant sexual innuendos throughout the game. Fun fact, this game actually does have a T rating, I think it's because they include demos for T-rated games, and I guess because of that, they decided to just go all out and, I guess, test the limits of the ESRB ratings. So there's a... For some reason, they just made Gex into an awkward pervert for this game. And basically the plot of this game is that Agent Extra is her name, and she gets captured by Rez, and you're supposed to save her. And everything in this game is like an anthropomorphic animal or a robot, except for Agent Extra, who is played by a human being. Not just any human being, but an actual, literal Playboy model. And there exists advertisements where Gex is holding Agent Extra's tits, which doesn't really help with the whole bestiality thing. This game's really weird. Alright, one more remote. This one's also pretty straightforward, but I actually really like this remote. It's fun to optimize. I guess I should mention the hitboxes in this level. They're really stupid. Especially those mines and these grenades you're gonna see coming up. They have these really huge and unfair hitboxes. They just extend way beyond what they should, as you can see there. But for some reason, they can't damage you while you're on the guns. And the mines, as you saw earlier with tail kicks, how they just make no sense, and I have no idea how to even begin explaining them. I decided to wait getting off the gun there so I didn't get hit by the grenade. You can actually move the gun, the line of fire, right past the searchlights, and if you go too fast, you won't hit it, which is really stupid. So we gotta destroy what looks like a Magnavox Odyssey 2 cartridge with the Channel Z artwork on it. And that's war as heck. And yeah, I know there's a quote in the first game, who opened a can of whoop-ass? There's another quote in the first game that's an outright rape joke. This is more fun than being Mike Tyson's cellmate on Valentine's Day. He actually says that in the first game. But yeah, Gex never really says anything worse than an ass or damn. And even then, that's pretty rare. Alright, up next is a Pirate Fiend level called Cut Cheese Island. This has a pretty major skip to it. They designed this really long and elaborate platforming section that you're supposed to go through with each remote, and I just skipped all of it. With just a few tail bounces. And then I missed that. That's a much more precise trick right there. Alright, got it. Alright, so in this room, I'm gonna go to the side, dodge these walls, and that will let me skip a cycle. It could be intentional. Alright. That was really slow. This is the first level, where I only get 2 remotes as well. So again, just gotta do the same thing again, for another remote. You actually saw me pass right by the TV earlier. I had it, and then I messed it up. Nice. Oops. I almost fell back down. That would have been pretty epic. Fun fact, we cannot tail kick that TNT barrel for whatever reason. Alright, so that's all of Lake Placid. I never actually have to fight the boss of Lake Placid. I can just skip right ahead. So I'm going to be doing a save warp to go back to mission control. So I'm going to do a clip into the next hub world, Slappy Valley. Got it. And then camera. Nice. That was a pretty quick clip, though. It's hard to ask for any better. I'm going to go for a really stupid slope jump here. And it's not even really a slope jump, it's just a really, really precise tail bounce. See, right there. And it saves like, what, maybe 4 or 5 seconds, maybe? Alright, so I have a very important question to ask everyone. Who here likes anime? Because apparently, Gex is an anime. And we're gonna really revel in that fact with When Sushi Goes Bad, the anime channel. And yes, that's the name of the level, When Sushi Goes Bad. So I'm gonna go for an out of bounds here that I'm kind of sucking on, and I got it. And when I say anime, I mean this is obviously, you know, very 90s. You know, it's a 90s game for 90s kids, so all you're really gonna see are a bunch of mechs and schoolgirls. This is actually a lot of people really love this level. They really liked it as a kid. The song it plays really stands out, and you know it's an anime themed level. This level sucks, it really does. It's not a well-designed level. The way it's designed is like there's a central hub with 3 sections for each remote, and you have to go through them all and then back. And it's just really annoying, and especially in 100%, because you can't do the out of bounds when getting the 100 fly coin remote. So, this level in 100% takes an eternity. It's already the longest level in this run. In 100% though, it's about 14.5 minutes. Well, about 14 minutes rather. I also should be taking damage, because I'm going to death abuse again. Then get a second tail kick, that's fine, yes. Yeah, those lights really make the game lag. Mythology Network is also pretty long. If you don't do the optimal route, that can actually be the longest level. There is a trick though that saves like 3 to 4 minutes. And it's an RNG based TV cancel. So if the idea of TV canceling was bad enough to you, now imagine RNG being a part of it. And if you miss it, you lose like, what, 6 to 8 minutes? I don't know exactly. It's really terrible. Alright, another out of bounds. As you saw with the last remote, doing out of bounds really messes with the textures here, and you're gonna really see it here. As you can see, it just doesn't... I got up there. I got the ledge grab, and then the camera decided to just mess me up, and I fell back down. So that wasted some time. But you still get to see what happens. All I'm going to say is run 100%, and then you'll really understand how bad this level is. Because it's honestly just kind of a snore fest in 100%. So yeah, we're swimming in the void, and this is basically going to persist until I leave this area. So I hope you like seeing nothing, really. The backtracking isn't really an issue when you know like some of the skips involved. If you want to do some like really tight one cycles as well, then there's that. Mythology Network is actually kind of cool in 100%, assuming you aren't going for the Rainbow TV cancel. It's just a fun level to optimize, and it's just kind of it feels good when everything goes well. And like when you play it casually, there's just so much backtracking, but if you manage to do everything well, it just skips all of that. But you know, doing it well is really difficult. That was stupid. Yeah, it's also on N64, but I would avoid the N64 version. Like, quite frankly, the only reason you should get the N64 version is if you want to run it. I can't recommend it to play casually. It's just way too laggy. I mean, I guess you could always emulate it to avoid the lag, but where's the fun in that? Oh, I got that. Nice. That can potentially save a tiny bit of time. Oh, and it didn't. Damn. Yeah, the benefit of doing that is keeping your momentum. It doesn't happen often. It's pretty rare that that happens. So again, I want to take damage. It is infinitely laggier. Bit of a story. When I was really young, I had the PS1 version of Gex 2, and then the disc broke somehow. And then, like, maybe a little bit later on, I ended up getting the N64 version, and I kind of had to settle on it for like, however many years. And I just dealt with it, even though it's clearly the inferior version. And then, when I was a lot older, I finally got the PS1 version, and it was just a breath of fresh air. It was like being freed. It felt amazing to play. By the way, that was the end of the anime channel. So up next is a fairy tale theme level called Red Riding in the Hood. Tail bounce up the vine. If you really want to be that guy to tail kick up the vine, be my guest, but have fun never making it up the beanstalk that way. These purple leaves have weird hitboxes. You can kind of like bounce on them as you jump up towards them. That was really bad. There's not a whole lot of variety to this level, it's just the single beanstalk that you climb up farther and farther for each objective. It's actually really fun in 100% though, it's one of my favorite levels. Just the routing is really cool. Ooh, also some nice lag. Alright, kind of a tricky glide coming up. Got it. This one is not so tricky. And then I actually have to climb the wall here. The camera just loves to control itself there. Alright, next objective. I'm gonna get a checkpoint here, because this also has a death abuse. So, next objective is to destroy the 3 little piggies' houses. And we're gonna do them in reverse. I just accidentally killed the pig there. You don't have to kill the pigs. They can still damage you though, funny enough. Welcome back. Alright, one more remote in here. This one is pretty simple. We just need to go to the top of the beanstalk, which already gone, you know, decently far up there. Ooh, that's only looking like it. It's been going decent enough. Got frame perfect TV cancel, which is nice. And yeah, I died in Holy Moses, which wasted like 5 seconds. Well, actually, it wasted more than that because I had to make a slight detour in the next level because of that. Momentum, please. Oh, made that nice. No edge grab with Santa. Can't blame you. Yeah, and that duck button is the same button you use to tail kick, which is the fastest way of moving in the game. Also need to note that I don't have to fight the boss of Slappy Valley either, I can just skip into Funky Town. But Gex has momentum. When you start moving, he moves slowly for like half a second and then starts moving faster, and then you can do tail kicks. But if you aren't moving faster, you don't have your momentum, he'll just crouch and waste your time. So I'm just going to do the same exact thing, but skipping into Funky Town, which is the final hub world of the game. This is My Free Goons. It's a gangster-themed level. So this level's really annoying. You just take damage so much. And then there's this, which is pretty annoying. You could zoom in, but that just wastes time. Alright, I took no damage, so I'm gonna go for this remote. Burn 5 bundles of funny money. Killed that rat there, so he doesn't damage me. First one. There's 2 right here. I can just shoot through the gate, and it'll set them on fire. I need to get another one. Yeah, this level just lags a ton. This area of the level sucks. These guys get in your way, it lags a ton. Like that, see? Did I take damage after I already stepped on the button? I wasn't looking. And my splitter keeps failing on me. I need to get a new splitter. I'm kind of tempted to go for a TV cancel. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for a TV cancel on this level. I'm just gonna kill that guy so he doesn't kill me, because I will have to go back there and get the Firefly. I'm really serious about attempting this TV cancel. I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm an idiot. Do not replicate this, at least in marathons. Missed it. That's okay. It's kind of a dumb TV cancel. Like, there's no tail whipping involved. And it's not a deaf TV cancel. It would be a deaf TV cancel if the rat killed you and then you landed on the button after you died, but you want to die after you already landed on the button. It's a really weird TV cancel. It's not the hardest in the game, far from it. It's not that bad, but it's stupid and towards the end of the run. Now, that TV cancel would have really saved some time, because that would have paired perfectly with this remote I'm doing. As you saw, I was breaking these root beer barrels last time. Now I'm doing it again. This does use a death abuse, so it's kind of fitting to do the TV cancel with it, but obviously I failed it. Alright, so pretty difficult tail bounce coming up. Oh, that was almost it, but then the camera turned itself. Alright, so there's one more level after this. This level, I also only get 2 remotes. There's a superhero theme called Super Zeros in this level. Oh boy, this level. How many lives do I have? Okay, I'm perfectly fine on lives. So there's 2 different routes I can do. I'm gonna take the safer, little longer route, just because it's a marathon. What? Oh wow. Okay. That's fine. That's really not a hard tail kick. I can kill this cat from far away. I need to make sure he dies on screen though, or else the cat won't count, and I have to leave the level and come back if I want to get this route. Oh, nice. That's not too bad. I could have went for a TV cancel there, but I don't want to be on 0 lives entering res. I would rather not. So one more remote. Ooh, that was pretty quick, actually. And then I ledge grab there, of course. Alright, so we gotta defeat this Mad Bomber. This is kind of just a clone of the Santa remote from the first level. Try to go fast. I got that. Getting quick shots like that, like I just did, like that, that's usually what happens with those quick shots. You just barely miss. Always ledge grab there. That's 30 remotes, and now we can fight the final boss. Oops. Tried to tail kick and I didn't. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. That was interesting. Alright, so there is a level accompanying this boss. It's one of the more agonizing levels. And it's not the hardest, but there are some fairly difficult skips, and it's right at the end of the run. And usually you have 0 lives entering this level, so that definitely doesn't help. Whoa. Oh my god, oh my god. What was that? That was scary. Very safe. Ooh. That was bad. Alright, so this is Rez. He has some fast strats that saves about like 40 seconds if you do everything right. I did not mean to spell that. And I missed. I missed the fast strat there. There we go. That's what I want to see. Alright. Alright, so time's not going to be on the final hit, but after the hit, an animation will play, a remote will pop up above my head, the screen will fade out, and that's when time is, because there's another screen that pops up, and time ends basically when you cancel it out. And I'll cancel it out pretty much immediately, so get ready on time. And time. You actually saw it right there. And there's the Playboy model I mentioned earlier. They every time she appears in the game, they make sure you get a long, good look at her. So, thanks, Crystal Dynamics.
Alfred, not now.
There seems to be an emergency, sir. The world needs your help.
221, that's not bad.
The signal seems to be breaking up. Gex, I'll call you later. As I was saying, extra.
My PB is a 4953.
Come here, you silly gecko.
Alright.
Oh, Gex.
So I have another run coming up.